Christina Universe Citizen presents New Era Religion, Episode 28, Part 1, April 13, 2022. Finding out what nature is trying to do. Let's face it, again today. I equal we equal us, start anew. It is freshly with hopes of contributing our individual omnirational, consciously knowledgeable competence to any degree of comprehensive modifications directed toward realizing a world that can work for everyone. The objective is, as the universal communications process continues to inform each of us, how little we really did know about life on Earth and our evolution species, humans of a mind, before we began reading our Buckminster Fuller's Synergetics, Explorations in the Geometry of Thinking. Still, we are barely aware how this knowledge of the triangular universal structural systems as generalized information can be applied as essential education tools going forward from here. It is highly likely that human innovations can be referential to the generalized content of disseminated information with geometric models in mind, and as the communications between self and others is continuous, unknowingly to most of us. At every level of education, our systemic thought and conceptualities of the minimum thinkable set, independent of size, can be, as we anticipate, a true democracy. Hypothetically, then, it would be referential to universe's eternal patterning integrity and the energy of general systems, that is, eternally conserved. It gives new incentives to the concept conservative as the prevailing intention to operate with prudence and forbearance, while admitting the synergetic models are critical to the economics of the transforming networking functions. The multidimensional communications environment can be omniconsiderate, omnirational, and directed toward the realization of a true democracy. The Synergetics philosophy with conceptual models becomes more familiar to us as metaphysical intellect realizes this potential. It is as the metaphysical generalized conceptual fields of thought are integral functions of universe for the first time in histories of humans on Earth. Looking beyond what has resulted in devastating reactions in almost all levels of a supposedly civilized coexistence. But because the inherited detriments from the womb of permitted ignorance affects all of us in one way or other, we must reconsider all alternative options now. Obviously, it is illogically non-rational to persist with the beliefs that not only foster the destructive behavior but also engenders more fear. The fear registers its unpredictability and pocketed unrest throughout the surviving populations, correlating to weapons and freedoms, respecting the right to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is so even when such experiences seem to be non-existent, all things considered, from variously explored angles of disagreement. Logically intelligent people want to know more about the facets of the minimum structural system that are unit angle, unit edge, and unit vertex geometric pattern integrities. The pattern integrity is manifesting as the constant relative abundance that inherently underlies awareness of the basic unit of measure. Environmentally, it comprises the identifiable, most relevant energy synergy invisible to visible, conceptual, non-conceptual, intertransforming network functions. Omnicomprehensive networking functions may give our evolution awareness a non-contradictory environment of systemic thought and language. If so, the generalized principles would not interfere with the wisdom and acquired knowledge of the human mind. Wisdom of the human mind always tries to convey these evolution propensities to every newly born generation. Naturally, such consciously knowledgeable competence includes explorations in Buckminster Fuller's AAA, an absolute accommodation network of energy articulation as well. Progressive, inspired intellect recognizes the inherent value in what he discovered by integrating geometry and philosophy. In Synergetics 251.50, we can read about a single conceptual system that provides a common language and accounting for both the physical and the metaphysical that resulted by integrating geometry and philosophy. In Synergetics 201.11, the acronym AAA is easily rememberable in respect to the tetrahedral and vector equilibrium models in the isotropic vector matrix. It also provides an extensive list of differentiated proclivities to inspire further explorations in the geometry of thinking and education applications correlative to forming a more perfect union. We can read to comprehend these profound contributions to the universe of communications across the world's democracies and at every level of education. Before Synergetics, the unwisely operating democracies ignored the realizable potential of these omnicomprehensive considerations. Democracy was expected to succeed even though no more perfect union could be logically anticipated, until the objective of manifesting a true democracy became possible. Such potential is subsequent to learning of the tetrahedron as one quantum of energy, as a quantum module, the conceptuality of which is independent of its size. It is where size alone can come to zero, not the conceptuality. Logically, consciousness of general systems and the most economical way of behaving relative to unity and self in universe refers to the matrix field that apparently is essential to manifesting a true democracy as a conservative value. Furthermore, without awareness of these conceptualities, the existence of physical life would be impossible to accurately measure. Life requires life-sustaining environments where spherical atoms comprise the conceptual minimum limit number of closest packed spheres. These spheres fill the spaces we are educated to ignore, that contribute to the misassumption that provides no relevant reason to give thought to a cosmic accounting. We have learned from the institutions we count on to believe is a greater value than thinking. Therefore, it may seem almost natural to not think, to give no thought to the generalization that equals mathematics. From our Buckminster Fuller Synergetics Dictionary's equal checklist G list, generalization equals mathematics. Genesis of modulability equals vector equilibrium. And from our Buckminster Fuller Synergetics Dictionary equal checklist A list, apprehension plus comprehension equal awareness. Until humans of a mind, our evolution species, think about survival, of our inherent need to know the truth that cannot be a pretense, we will inadvertently prevent what can happen as a result of the conscious awareness of universe's minimum structural system when differentiated from any historically derived scheme. Still, the prevalent predomination of the manifesting PRJWBCS politics, religion, justice, war, belief, complex schemes continue to pretend that the survival of their authorities as supposedly the most knowledgeable and powerful hierarchies must be trusted as permanently memorialized institutions. It more than suggests that our 21st century humanity is stuck with such illogical non-thinking from time immemorial, as if institutions cannot become obsolete based on the inaccurate information upon which those schemes were built, and that has since been discovered as one way, but not the only way, to educate us, these centuries after those organizations form pervasively extending roots. It continues to perpetuate influential offsetting perturbations as contradictory evidence that eventually suppresses the individual economic initiative, which always concerns intellect's curiosity in finding out what nature may be trying to do. Nature's incredibly complex design is of the eternally regenerative universe. Oddly, though, it seems of no relevant interest to the supposedly most important institutions in our world. Rapidly talking Ben Shapiro emphasized the importance of institutions as the key speaker at the Young America's Foundation, April 11, 2022. The large gathering of various ages obviously attended with interest in the main topic: men cannot become women. Who would have thought that democracy could degrade to such absurdity, where species regeneration comes into question for the human imagination's differently assigned functions that are nowhere in the nature of humans and other mammals? Mammalian species carry the unborn thus through the gestation period to be born. Common sense and awareness of the always and only coexisting complementarity female and male, as well as evolutionary proof that the female carries the seed, is continuous as her ovaries, or one ovary, the fallopian tube, the womb, the uterus, the female anatomy is designed to carry the fetus as an integral design of humans. The design of I equal we equal us is nothing to scoff at, or to decide a word game semantical troublemaking scenario by political decree can redefine a natural occurrence for the sake of agreeing with the absurd. But it was during the question-asking tail end of Ben Shapiro's speech where his reactions are so quick on the uptake that tends squelching dissent. The put-down resets the argumentative basis for clarifying his particular type of suppression that promotes the established institutions as protected laws and customs. Actually, the institutions may have absolutely no substantiating basis whatsoever, referentially to the energetic synergetic systems of nature, the coordinate systems of nature. To be continued in Part 2, Episode 29.